All right, what's up, everybody? We're just loading up on all platforms, so bear with me. Okay, perfect. It looks like we're good to go. What's going on, everybody? My name is Phil Bohol. I am the founder of Core Initiative, and today I have one of our guys, Richard from Canada, just absolutely fucking crushing inside of Brotherhood, and we're going to spend some time today probably talking some shit, but also talking about his unlocks and some of the things that he was able to find within himself inside of the Brotherhood. Hopefully, give you some value as well, and really just the journey of self actualization, self mastery. Richard, what's up, brother? Appreciate you joining us today.
Oh, what's up, man? I appreciate to be here, man. There's nowhere else I'd rather be. I thought you were
Absolutely.
asking me. I
So,
thought you were going to ask me actually how I was doing today. Can you ask me that,
yeah, how you doing?
bro? If I was any better, I'd be you, motherfucker.
There you go. You have to lay me up. So tell them what you do, bro. Because I want to know a little bit about what you do from business and what you do outside of business. What you got? Who are you, bro?
Me, what I do for business? Well, you know what? I recently had labeled myself as more of like a landlord. I own real estate. I'm also a painting contractor. I've been in the business for about 18 years, on and off for about 18 years, but consistently more or less for the past like 10 years. I've just been solid in that, as well as treating my portfolio as a hobby, but also, let's say, a professional hobby, because at the same time, even though it's supplemental income, when you force wealth into your life and into your family, it's still a business, right? So a little bit about that backstory there. I got, back in, it was like 2014, 2015, I won't go too deep into that, but, like my father, when I was still living at home in my mid 20s, like early 20s, more or less, would always kind of tease the idea on like real estate. So I didn't get into it back until like 2015. Then I rented it out to my brother. Then I started the house hack on our first single family house, turned it into a duplex, pulled the permits, the whole wazoo, and then rented it out very successfully. And then, built and forced a lot of equity into the property. And I just had a snowball effect from there with house hacking and owning other properties. Hired a coach, real estate coach, and it's been a good solid 10 years now. And I'm actually getting more or less selling more portfolio to be able to go niche onto what I do and what I do best. And then figuring out some more things for the future as well. Outside of that, I'm a family man. I have a toddler, 24 month old. Yeah, 2 years actually, the second for next month. I got another one on the way, due on the 28th of May. So if I missed that Friday's call, if it is a Friday, I am sorry, Phil. And happily married man since 2020. Been with Dominique, my beautiful French princess, for the past 13 years going on. I might be a year off on that, but she would correct me if I was here. But a year off, whatever. But yeah, don't really have any other hobbies, bro. Like, I really don't, man. Like, I'm not these one of the motherfuckers that, like, I live in Thunder Bay, motherfucker. If you got Crave, you got Prime TV. There's literally documentaries on Thunder Bay on how like fucking dangerous it is. Okay, I think it's like the kidnapping capital of Canada. There's like so much flow of crime down here. Growing up, public school, high school, you got to be able to learn how to survive down here, especially in the winter months. We go down like minus 40, minus 45. It's getting better actually, but I'm not one of these motherfuckers that just goes snowboarding. My kid's getting older now, so I'm trying to like delve up into like getting used to doing more of the outdoors to get more involved with him, like tobogganing. And eventually, when kids get older, they outgrow their parents and spending time with them. They want to get them more independent, right? So I'm just trying to get involved in those type of activities just to kind of, teach them some recreational things of life. But other than that, I don't really have any other hobbies, bro. It's personal development. I focus a lot on me, focus a lot on helping anybody else that I can. Business, growing the business, getting better at sales pitches, marketing, knowing how to be able to switch gears when it's appropriate, as me and you got into that most recently on some of the calls. Other than that, bro, that's just kind of me in the nutshell. That's the shortest anecdote I can possibly give. So
Yeah, and to get here, there's a lot of shit you probably have to go through, over time. So biggest thing I want you to do is like let's go backwards a little bit because when did you plug into the Core Initiative? Like how long ago was that?
I plugged in with you guys. So I found about you through a Wes Watson pump up clip. When I used to watch a lot of his stories back in the day, he used to shout you out a lot. Does shout you out a lot. And then so like I actually joined you. I love like your branding was like unbelievable. And basically I just added you to the stories there. So I think that was back in May? And then you reached out to me, why I joined the channel is just curiosity, just, somebody just passing through type of thing, or you just, what is it about the content that you like? I think me and you, we did a whole back and forth. For some reason, I don't know how you did it. Like I was just able to feel comfortable, kind of open up on some of the things that I was going through on the good and the bad with you. And then I think I got officially plugged in with you around June. So
you down to talk about a little bit of the bad, like what you're going through, especially in one of the videos you recorded for me, losing the fire in your belly, like just losing the drive. What was that? What caused it?
You did some of the homework prior to the call, huh? No, that's awesome, bro. A lot of the bad, I think a lot of the bad really stem from the good, man. Like honestly, like by the way, it can be hard to talk about, but I'm an open book. Like, so, for me, some of the bad kind of stem from, again, some of the good that I was actually going through. I own multiple apartment buildings, and I got really fucking insanely good at what I do. Buying a lot on the buying a lot of equity in on the buy, and then, buying at a certain percentage on the dollar and forcing that equity in to be able to recycle the capital back to where I own the apartment building for free, and then just cash flow on a very healthy cap rate from there, as well as being in the home service business for my painting business. And I didn't amalgamate the two, but it was a split. The business was split into two, right? So essentially, it was like a split identity between the two. And you know what? Like I don't even know where it stemmed from. I basically believe that was the foundation of it all. And like the bad was just the anxiety of it all, really, because I was juggling two. And that old saying, you probably know about this too, Phil. It's like, if you chase two fucking rabbits, one person chases two fucking rabbits and they got the one shotgun, how many rabbits do you think you're going to catch? 0. But 2 are on the loose. You chase after one. How many rabbits can you get if you strategize properly? You can still catch the one. I think that's more or less. I'm like 98%. Yeah, so, target, but like not really knowing who I was, what I was after, not having a clear path, and just juggling these two identities and these two businesses, as well as becoming a family man and being a married man with more responsibility. And when things would just go wrong, the potentiality of the worst case scenario of certain things going wrong just kind of got to me, like the whole what ifs. That's where anxiety pretty much stems and feeds from. It's just like that what if on the worst case scenario too, right? And I think I even just fucking grew up like that too. Like, my parents growing up, like they didn't have the best marriage. My brother got sick. My dad, we don't really have the closest relationship. Even till this day, we don't have even the best relationship. We're not friends. I kind of keep certain people that are family in my life at a certain distance because, like, he's a very prejudiced man. He has some narcissistic issues, bipolar issues. Like if he's the kind of guy where you're down, you got kicked from society, he'll come around and take that fucking second kick to your gut and your fucking teeth, bro. And a lot of that shit just growing up was just pretty much hard. So, you even talked about this yourself, that little boy inside of you talks to the man. Talking to the man is the problem, where the man should be talking to the boy. Like a lot of those what ifs on the worst case scenarios and everything that was going on in my life, what if I'm not spending enough time with my kid? What point should I be teaching him? What should I be teaching him? What is the most appropriate thing to be able to teach him? How do I set an example, even though that he's at such a young age? When my wife comes to me with an issue, like, how do I combat that issue with her? Can I be the one that she could lean on? And so, yeah, like it's I
Sounds like it's
guess to
a
be able to
lot, bro.
encompass everything,
Like
it's
you're
all the anxiety.
basically moving forward with success in like different domains, but because of probably how fast the hits started coming, the reaction time, you didn't really have time to react. You kind of just had to go with the flow
React.
and do the best that you could, and that was creating a lot of anxiety. And it brought up some shit from the past, as we talk about inside of the brotherhood, how we're raised and how we come up, it affects us. That's why I tell you guys all the time about when I was 10, family started getting divorced. It was fucking mayhem. That's what led to drinking, smoking, like all the shit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so were you like consciously aware of these things that the anxiety and the things that were coming up for you when we started talking, or
Yeah.
was that something you started to uncover as we continued the conversation?
Like I was pretty much aware of it. But I think you just more or less helped me, like being inside the brotherhood, and then you directly going through the training as well. Kind of, uh, we're all. I learned that all of us inside the brotherhood were kind of cut from the same cloth. We all have very similar issues, and going through a lot of the training and the information really kind of uh, uncovered that, took the blanket off, and just helped me see what was what for the truth, and what really didn't matter. And it's just like, delineating and pinpointing certain things in the homework, for example, inside the core initiative. It's like, oh, yeah, that is me. Oh, that is my perception. That is how my operating system is at this point in time, right? Like, oh, like here's how I tune it up, right? Here's how I tighten all the anchors. Here's how I tighten the nuts and bolts over here. And then everything just kind of snowballed for the good and just started to get better in my life going forward from there, right? I mean,
Yeah, I want to unpack some of the wins and stuff like that. But before that, bro, like there's two parts that I also personally just want to better understand. Because we don't get to spend so much time unpacking everybody's individual experiences type of deal. So this is a great time to do that. I think you were going to the hospital or some shit right before you plugged in. I think we had a call set, and then you were like, bro, like I'm gonna send you a picture of my fucking like wristband or something at the hospital. Is that you?
that was
Or
me.
that was
Yeah.
someone? Yeah. So why did you decide to like plug in? Like, what were you trying to get out of the brotherhood when you decided to fucking plug in?
Oh, just a bit like it sounds trite and boring, but like I just wanted a better version of me, bro. Because the quality of our fucking life is the quality of our emotions. Uh, right that like right then and there. I mean, I knew that was just kind of more or less the right time to be able to squeeze the time in to be able to join. But um,
We talked about like the exercises and the homework, and we kind of talked about like the whole internet marketer shit before, right? Like kind of generic coaching, blah 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 blah. So when you use the word homework, I just want to make sure we expand for the audience. What do you mean by that? Like how is this program? Because have you taken different programs before Core Initiative or after?
well, I did, but they were niche into more business, real estate, and contracting. Nothing was more or less on the mindset.
Yeah.
It had some
So
mindset training aspect to it, but just didn't dive as deep.
yeah. So how was your experience going through this program? Like what made it different to help you with some unlocks before we get into the specific unlocks?
Well, you want an example is like decluttering the mind and then just getting organized and prioritized for what is the most important, and not so much what is important to others and what is mostly urgent to them. It's just mostly important to what is mostly to what is important to us. And I would say honestly is like the truth behind all of the chaos when you're leveling up. And basically, it is tightening those nuts and bolts of the operating system, because a good quality of life is you have to operate from within. And the quality of life is like to be able to improve on the quality of life, it all has to come within, like no matter what's going on with you. And like I even like kind of put myself in check here because I got to know some of the other guys, and I looked through some of the previous calls that were actually listed, and like I won't actually name any specific details that'll give away identity of some people, because I'm going to presume more or less that it's confidential. Like some of these guys were just like going through some shit, bro. Like one guy's child, got caught up in some religious type uh, uh, con or scheme or pyramid scheme or whatever it was. And this guy was going through this with his health. And it's like, oh, okay, I have these problems here. I want to be able to improve my quality of life. But like that helped me kind of put myself in check, because these people were actually able to crash through some ceilings on personal development for themselves. And I thought, okay, if they could do it, I can fucking just do it, bro. It's all good. So like, one of those things that I would say is like learning how to thrive on chaos and really kind of grabbing the bull by the horns. Because when you are anxious about meeting chaos and facing it, you're just denying life. You know what I mean? Like you're just avoiding what is all really a part of life. You don't necessarily need to enjoy it, but you could operate from being proud when you dominate and not necessarily needing to be happy every single day of your life through all the chaos or even all the good times you're going through. Because like life, it's not really about happiness to me. Like to me, it's all about progress and growth. And what comes with progress and growth comes with, I would rather have the feeling of just being proud than happy. You know what I mean? That's just me. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, a lot of us inside of the Brotherhood feel the same way, like for a lot of people who are unhappy and miserable in their life, like they don't understand. There's like a deeper purpose of life. It's not just always like cranking money and doing this and doing all that cool shit. It's like how you feel about your day, how you feel about yourself, how you operate. What do you see when you look at the man in the mirror, type of deal. So you started doing this work, and you started decluttering the mind. You started seeing the experiences of other men and seeing how much weight I think all of us carry, type of deal. And it helped. What were some of the biggest unlocks you would say that you were able to uncover for yourself in the program so far?
Bro, if I'm being like detachment.
Yep.
What I mean, detachment, because can I get into this a little bit?
Yeah, bro, send it.
Yeah, man. Like detachment, I would say is number one. Like even just like growing my real estate portfolio to like, 3.5 to about 4.5 million. It's like, oh man, if things are going so good, where's the shoe going to drop? Like who's going to fuck me? Like, who's going to be able to turn around to like smile on my face, shake my hand, write me a check to get into my building, and only to like, destroy my building, run the taps dry, fucking not pay me rent. But like the truth is just like, as long as we just get up every single day and prioritize what could move us ahead, like what's logical, what's best for me and my family. Like if I'm going to progress and, take care of the offense to move forward while all the while still prioritizing some defense here, just know that whatever the result is at the end of the fucking day, bro, it doesn't fucking matter. What matters is the quality of our lives and the quality of our emotions and like how we operate too, right? It's just like the detachment came of like, hey, just because that dude, does write me a check only to get into one of my buildings, shake my hand, smile on my face. Meanwhile, I got involved with a wolf in sheep's clothing and he decides to fuck me over. Like, so what? Like, he's just going to win and probably try to torment me the worst that he could or he can. And then he's just going to fucking, he's probably going to win for the short term, but I know who the fuck I am. And no matter what kind of shit I get into, whether I get, whether I have a, myocardial infarction or whatever, I got, layman's terms is like a heart attack. Maybe I have the worst news from my doctor about my Graves' disease. Like I'm still fucking me, man. Like I'm just going to pull myself out of it. Right. And I just want to be able to live like the best example that I possibly can, to leave behind that example for my wife and my kid. Right. Like these things, like it's more or less even like a practice of stoicism, dude. Audits, courtrooms, crime all around you, like oppression. It doesn't matter, man. Like this shit doesn't mean anything. Like, oh, bro, I'm fucking going through some shit right now. Get into that. Like, I don't know how much detail I can get into because I don't even know, like, I don't know who's fucking watching. Like, I don't even know if the government's watching, but like, yeah. I'm being shaken down right now.
Yeah.
Pretty bad by the government. The CRA, they got just as much power as the IRS does down there, if not probably fucking more, because even if they not suspect, but like think something's going on with you and your business, they'll come over to your house and flip your mattress over. And like, yeah, bro, by all means, like they think that I owe them. Even in Ontario, there's something called HST, harmonized sales tax. You got to pay with the math that comes up to, I think it's like, I could be wrong on this. I might switch around like 7% federal, like 6% provincial. Whatever you fucking buy, doesn't matter if it's an apple in the superstore or you sell a property, not a property, but like whatever it is it could be a stick of gum. It could be, buying flooring services. You got to pay 13% no matter what. But if you buy a property in your corporation and you renovate it, they just think that you owe them 13%. But there's lots of rules and tight rules and regulations surrounding that. I won't get into the details of all that, where you could opt out of paying 13%, right? So they think that I owe them like $30,000 to $40,000, like from years ago, bro. And they want to tack on interest and penalties. And they're calling me, shaking me down. And it's like, here's the reason why I don't owe you this. If you guys really want to fight me on this, I'll fight you back on it. And yeah, you want to shake me down, I'll shake you down if I have to. But me and my wife, we're going on a trip at the end of the month next month. We've never been away in 13 years that we've been together, bro. And I'm fucking ashamed of that because we've been hustling hard, fucking hard. And we're selling a lot of the portfolio. We're high in the six figures right now. For the proceeds, we're sheltering a lot of our proceeds from tax implications. My wife's very good at that. You could give her a call if you'd like. If one of you guys live in Canada, very good at that. And yeah, what can I say, bro? And she even said when she's the one that got the letter, came home and she said, hey, I'm glad you're in a great mood. Glad this happened. Glad that happened. I think I sold like a fucking $10,000 job. Oh, I'm glad you closed that job today. By the way, you're being audited by the CRA. And I'm like, oh, no matter what happens, can you please just try to keep a good attitude about this? And I'm like, whatever they're after, whether they get it or they don't get it, and they have full legal right to it, I just don't give a fuck. Like, we're going on vacation no matter what the cost is. It's just going to be fine.
Let me ask you this, bro. 6 to 8 months ago, before the brotherhood, how do you think you would have reacted?
I wouldn't be here. I would have had a heart attack, bro.
But like, what changed is my point. Like, what happened? Because like, you have a zero fucks given attitude right now, which is amazing. Keep that. That's the thing. That's what we train on. But like, what changed? Where like before it was like anxiety ridden, to now it's like, dude, fuck you guys. I'll take what's mine. I'll do whatever the fuck. Like, I don't really give a shit. Because I want you to understand too, if you're not hearing it, like the shift in who you are, right? We talk about identity a lot inside of the brotherhood. There's a version of you today that these problems are like little shit problems, bro. Like, they're not even whatever. To like the average Joe though, like they would lose their shit. They really would. Like, they'd feel like everybody, the government was looking down on them and they would fucking break and collapse. Right now, you're like, dude, I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm focused on our vacation. We got shit to do, And that takes a different identity than maybe the one that was present 6 to 8 months ago. So what was that shift, bro? I think that's the lesson that everybody can learn from. Who did you become in these past 6 months to allow you to see these problems that are usually massive for people as fucking nothing, bro? Just another day.
It's Phil Bullhole's magic, man. I don't know how you like... I just delved into, like, I think I just dove into you mentioned home. I referred to it as homework and you wanted to refer back to that homework. I mean, it's just doing the work to be able to work on you. If you're inside of the brotherhood, you're inside of the core initiative, you guys are on the fence. Whoever the fuck is watching this right now, you're on the fence, man. Jump in with Phil 100%. Like, just learning a lot about these guys that was in the brotherhood prior to me and who they graduated into something else and evolved into something else, prevailed into something different. And I see the progress of those guys as I started to watch those previous videos, even before I was even in the program, and then doing a lot of the work. Like, you even taught me the philosophy of being a fucking machine gunner. One of the reasons why I even wanted to join your program, bro, I don't know what it is, man. I just always been into, this is going to sound weird. Fucking I was in the Army Reserves when I was a troubled youth, 12, 13, 14. Like, I was a fucking criminal, bro. Like, I would sell drugs with my friends. We go when I was living in Southern Ontario for like years when I left Thunder Bay, I was a bad influence on people, bro. Like, it was terrible. And, we take like these big fucking boulder rocks and we'd smash up construction sites and the cops are bringing us home. My parents, they didn't give up on me, but they probably should have maybe at the time, because I put them through a lot too. But like, yeah, we can go down a whole rabbit hole there. But like, yeah, they sent me off to the Army Reserves, where I would even help guys get prepared to be, like whether they be going to West Point or like literally, or even just getting into infantry. Like we'd learn about marching, which I'm sure about maybe in the Marines, like Australian basketball. It's like fucking hockey and basketball combined into one, bro. Like you got like this big fucking wall with wheels on the bottom, and you got this big like medicine ball, and it's got weight to it, but you can't bounce it to be able to dribble it to kind of like, manipulate your moves to get around the defense to be able to go get into that. No, bro, if that guy's in front of you, another cadet is in front of you, Army cadet's in front of you, he's just going to beat the shit out of you to take you down. There's no foul here. If he gets that medicine ball out of your hand, even though he's bigger than you, like you lost the ball. You're probably going to lose the game, and like, I don't know. Like, and when I was 14, I got out. I hated it, bro. But like looking back now, I wish I would have made something out of it. You know what I mean? So like, I've always kind of been into the discipline of just daily, like I've always been into like the daily discipline and structure of how guys like yourself do it. Like shout out to you, guys like Ray Cash, fucking Nick Homolazos, Phil Bohol. I'm like a huge fan of all you guys. I probably wouldn't get into a brotherhood unless the leader was served in the military. I never served myself, but again, bro, I wish I would have. And like back to it, you talk about being a machine gunner. That just sounds like the most gangsterous, fucking coolest shit to me. And you talk about the philosophy of like, they just don't give a fuck about their conditions, their environment. Their job is to be able to cover the grounds for their brothers so they could lay down fire. Like they'll lay down cover fire so they could just like swoop in to be able to like dominate whatever village they're in and take cover. And this guy needs to reload his ammo. That guy needs to be able to feed this guy over here. And you're laying down cover fire even further when their troops are coming in. And I'm like, God damn, it's like, maybe it's like this comparison and analogy to life, man. I think I could just get really good at it because like being a 37-year-old man, I don't know if it's too late for me, but like, I just got no interest going into this age no more. But like, I can kind of look at life as like a battlefield, right? And my mind is the fucking weapon. That just sounds like the coolest shit to me. And my most passion, and bro, I'll even get into this a little bit. Me and you talked a few days ago, and I know you know what it was. You like, you set my head on straight. You're like, bro, like this financial loss that you took over here, you want to go after these people for that. But if you spent your time doing this, you would just make more money. Like if it's a fucking wash, why the hell would you even care about it, bro? Like this is just your fucking ego. And you kind of laid into me, and I'm like, man, I needed that shit. I fucking needed that shit. Because you know what else that kind of came from? You're not wrong. It's not just the ego. It's like there's some part of me that just wants to stick the fuck up against people that try to bully people that just can't stick up for themselves. That's why I don't rescue. That's why I don't like won't adopt like puppies, because the little girl that can give the puppy dog eyes to her dad, that puppy's always going to get adopted. I want to like help out the rescue dogs, and we have rescue dogs. I don't want to be able to help that. Like there's like a passion for me, like sticking up for somebody, or like an animal, a stray animal that just can't stick up for itself. You know what I mean? Like I just got a passion for that.
Like laid into you a little bit, dude, is like it's a good mentality to have, because when you have the upbringing, dude, I used to slang too back in the day. And a couple of the other guys inside of the initiative also did that. You have to do what you have to do to survive. But when we have that as like our environment, the reason why we call it a structure is because we were so unstructured in our youth. Mm-hmm. When we have this desire to help the next underdog, it's because we were underdogs. But the reason why I laid into you a little bit is because you've become the type of man who can create so much more abundance than this little distraction. And that man that focuses more on the abundance can have a lot more impact on more underdogs than this one-to-one thing going on with this fucking thing going on, that dude or whatever. And for you, you don't have to stick up for you. You know who the fuck you are. Mm-hmm. You know you'll stand up for what's right. And that's why it's like, fuck this small amount of whatever the fuck this is, nothing, bro. Mm-hmm. Get after the big shit in life. Because once you become that, then you also become an example for people. It's not even words anymore. It's just like, look at me, look at my life, look at who I've been able to become. When back in the day, just like you said, used to slang, used to do this, used to be a little bit of a shitbag just like me. We come from that and we've made something of ourselves. Let yourself be an example. That's how you lead underdogs.
Right.
But when we get distracted, sometimes those things come into our path, especially as we go towards success. Those little things become distractions and we think like we're doing good. But dude, there's so much more that you can invest your time into that can have much more impact, if that makes
100%.
sense. And that's the stuff that, I love it when you bring stuff like that up, or guys inside of the program. Like, people think success or life is like this fucking course you take and then you fucking do the thing and then you have all these unlocks in life. It's actually having conversations as small as that, about fucking macros or putting on weight, and proximity. Doing life with people, I think, is what actually creates the elevation of growth. And that's why when you think about the brotherhood calls, which I'd love to unpack from your experience as well, we go deep in a lot of shit. And it's not
Mhm.
always about money. It's not always about deals. It's not always about this. But when we transform how a man thinks and operates in his life, everything falls into place, bro. So like these brotherhood calls, I don't know how many of these types of like calls you do or have been part of, but like how's your experience been with the calls? I don't think people really know what the fuck happens in our brotherhood calls. So can you unpack that a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, well, like how it helped me, or like what we
Yeah,
talk
yeah.
about.
How it helped you, your experience, just your thought about it. Because I don't
It's
even know.
everything to me, man. Like, like honestly, like you smile and laugh, but like, hey, man, it is like I show up, even if I got nothing going on, man. If I'm just like cloud nine, I got no questions about this. Like, oh, the business, oh, my kid, oh man, like he's spending a lot of time with himself. Oh, it turns out it's just this. He just kind of delves over to here. My wife's having this problem over here. I help her out with that. We can get into that later too. And then I just know she's going through a moment. She needs to be able to just get back to that, past that moment. Oh, now she's on cloud nine right now, and like I think being a part of the brotherhood just like helps. You talk about like little decisions. I think that's kind of like, if I'm gonna paraphrase it, it's like success is just like the little decisions in life too, right? And I just, even if, like I said, like if I got like nothing going on, I want to just observe you guys inside of the brotherhood and what's going on with what's going on with X, what's going on with Y, what's going on with Z. And like I just don't want to name names. We could if we want, like you know but and all the struggles and like challenges that they're going through, and how you help them, like how you arrive with logic as well as philosophical, and you kind of interweave everything to be able to help them out. It's like the like the Matrix. It's almost like the red pill that you need to be able to serve to all of us to be able to kind of see what the truth is, right? And how a better life could be lived. And if I just show up like, and I got an issue, I'm always going to be able to be upfront and just talk about it. Some specifics too. It's just like, I think the first call I did with you too, Phil. I was having some anxiety too because you mentioned to me that when I was going through some renovations of my own primary residence, my wife, she wanted me to kind of pull back, but it was a bad strategy on pulling back, because the strategy was like pull back from my role as a man and the leader of the household too, right? It's like, even though this is your role and we're going to build a fence to make sure our dogs don't run away, because our dogs are our family, right? We want to make sure that they're not going to run away. We got to build a fence and a little bunker for them. It's going to cost, $12,000 to $14,000, but you know what? You got this going on, that going on with a business. I know this is your role, but like, let me handle it here. And the dude was trying to fucking weasel and swindle us. And I was seeing all these little details, and, he got away with this one little thing. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. And then now he's trying to do this. Now he's trying to do that. No, 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 no. The problem came about, and you helped me with that, because it was like, bro, you need to be able to tap into the leadership role in the household in your masculinity. She needs to be able to tap into and stay within her femininity, because that's her role in the household. This is your role as the man and the leader of the household too, right? because she saw you drop, and unjustly she decided to kind of grab the bull by the horns here and steer, and that's how you got into the situation that you're in. We went through some breathing strategies. Phil, I know you talk about like I'm going to label it like box breathing. I call it box breathing. You breathe in for 4, or you hold for 4, you exhale for 6, hold in for another 4. Same routine. Like I know Navy SEALs, they call that box breathing. It's like 4, 4, or 6 or whatever. Hey, we got to be able to delve into some detachment here, right? Like, can you just tell the fucking asshole you don't even want to work with the dude? Like, so the fuck what? Just fire him. Like, pay him off and fire him. Like, oh yeah, yeah. And that's kind of what happened. And I was told him, like, hey, your quote says this, and you got to meet me over here. And obviously you're missing this because the structural integrity is not good here. And that ain't that, bro. To me, in the beginning, if I would have like just told you those things at the beginning, which I should have, because me and you should have met, are you telling me you would have walked away from a $14,000 job? No, bro, I guess you're right. Okay, fair enough. Tell you what, I'll take care of you Monday. All right, thank you. And then he did, and that was on. I moved on with it, bro. And I just had to learn from detachment, right? Because even if that conversation just kind of went the other way, oh, fuck you, I don't know you that. No, fuck you. I'm the one who hired you. You're supposed to make sure it's your job to go through the details with me because you're the contractor, dude, and I'm the client. You got to make sure that all things are clear and understood with me prior to one nail hitting the wood. That's your fucking job. Perhaps it's also my job to ask, but we're taking a split responsibility here, bro. That's it. And that conversation thankfully went better. Like I said, right? Like proximity, like closer proximity to success. It's all in those little decisions, right? It's all in those little tweaks, right? Because those are the things that are like kind of like steroids or dopamine. It's just like, you zoom right past your problems. You zoom right past fucking defense. Fuck defense. You need fucking offense, bro.
Yeah, dude. You were winning like I think from the jump. I think in like your first couple weeks or whatever, you locked down a 20K deal, and then you started going through the personal development shit, and your energy started shifting on the calls, and then you started doing some crazy shit with real estate, and then you even had like that hiccup with real estate, and I think that's what you were talking about earlier. And we're like, dude, fuck it. If you just gotta wait a couple of weeks, like to get the deal done, that's a lot of fucking money. So fuck it. Like it's
Yeah.
whatever, treat it as such. And you've gone all the way here, and dude, you've been very like plugged in to the weekly calls. You ask questions, you're respectful of people's time. You've been a great asset to us inside of the brotherhood and how you show up. And I'm glad that you're representing Canada and showing up for the brothers too. I don't think you brag on yourself enough. I think that's one of the biggest things that I still want you to do, because it does inspire the other brotherhood or everybody else inside of the brotherhood to continue to hear your wins. And as you continue to win, I hope you do share all of that. Where do you think that you would be today if many, many, many months ago we had a conversation, you decided not to plug in? If you could imagine, where do you think you would be today?
I'd say pretty much in the same spot or the same position that I was in prior to joining, because at the end of the day, man, like, if you want to keep on getting what you've always gotten, you just got to keep on doing the same things. And that isn't, I'm all accidentally kind of phrasing that in a good frame when it's not. If you keep on doing what you've always been doing, you're always going to get what you've always got. Why the fuck would you want that if you're just like in a really bad position? Like, but yet, people going around like mocking coaching programs, and they're just fucking denouncing what they need the most, should have the most. But, they're just whatever, timing is off with them. Maybe it's a money issue. Like, I understand these things, but like, eventually you just got to be able to make that jump. I think, maybe I'd be worse off because, bro, I told you earlier, we believe with my specialists, I'm in remission with my Graves' disease, for example. I had it so fucking bad. Like, I didn't sleep for like weeks, even months. And I still had it even like joining the brotherhood, and somehow I was just sleeping better. How does that size you up? And at the end of the day, for all I know, if I still had that stress, do you think it would have been better for my treatment? No, it would have made it fucking worse. I'd probably have like these protruding eyes because that's what that shit causes. a failing fucking, I'm drawing a blank right now, thyroid. It's a thyroid disease because I have like an overproduction of hormones flowing through the body that actually attack your immune system. I probably still have that shit. I'd probably just be swimming in all the what ifs and all the anxiety. Bro, like, oh, this much to be able to join the Brotherhood? Who fucking cares? Like, I think I was like looking at like a commitment for like a whole entire year. It's like, I'd rather give up this amount of money just to be able to live rather than living the fucking life that I'm living today. Fuck it. I'm joining.
Yeah. I think a lot of people like put money on a pedestal, but they don't realize like the quality of life. So I have two questions for you before we cut this. What would you tell somebody that comes up with any excuse not to plug in, whether they've had bad experiences with coaching, whether they're just like, man, I don't really know if I need a brotherhood. I don't have time to show up every single week for a fucking call. I don't have time to do this stuff, but they might be in the same position you were 6 months ago. Maybe they don't have that great quality of life or control and anxiety or whatever the fuck was haunting you before. What would you tell them?
I'd say shut the fuck up and plug in. Open up the wallet and jump right in, man. Like you referred to my little one just came and visited me. So, little guy. Oh, hey, little guy. Say hello.
What's up, buddy?
What's up, buddy? My wife's supposed to take him over. But you referred to the Sherpa assisting the mountain climber that's never been to the top of the mountain. But the Sherpa has, right? And essentially you need to be able to ask yourself you got to be clear on what you want too, right? Like what kind of structure and quality of life that you want. You got to be very clear with that. Because you got to make sure that, do your due diligence and have the right person helping you out. Like there's all kinds of brotherhoods out there for sure. You even mentioned that in one of the calls, but like it's who jives with you. Find the one that you just jive with. Like I told you earlier too, dude, like I wouldn't join a brotherhood if the guy that served in the military wasn't leading it. Hey, like kind of what's your fun avatar, right? What kind of gets you pumped up? Who do you believe in the most? And then I just say, just run with it, bro. Cause it's like, I referred to information products before, prior to starting this call, bro. Like I was telling you about an experience that I've had recently where I joined this weight training program, but actually doing the work, hitting the gym, pumping the weights, building muscle. My goal, I'm at like 163. I want to get to like 180 in muscle mass with like 10% body fat. Hey, bro, just because this guy is there and beyond doesn't mean he's a great teacher, but it's important for people such as yourself to be like great teachers. And you are. You got to be able to also walk the walk too. And yeah, bro, that's just it. Like and like I was even going to say, like, even if I made the wrong decision, at least I get to fucking take something away from it. You know what I mean? I joined a $18,000, $20,000 real estate program the last year. I joined for 2 years. Like I got like triple more though. What am I talking about, bro? Way more than that. I paid like $20K for like this my first real estate coaching program, first year, Corey McKinnon. Shout out to Corey McKinnon. Bought a property for $79,500. I put $110 into it. The motherfucker got appraised value in 6 months for $350,000. I refinanced it, got all the capital back, and then some. Do you think I got my investment back? Yes. Even if I blew a deal and lost like, I don't know, like 20K, 10K, it's like, who fucking cares? Like it's the philosophy and the right education you get to take with you and carry it with you the rest of your life. And it just pays dividends over and over and over and over. Did it with contracting.com. They're another great contract or coaching company. Same as yourself, bro. Like even like if you just like kick me out of here, it's just like, hey, we don't want you in here no more. Well, at least a lot of the philosophy and I guess practice that you taught me, at least I get to carry that with me the rest of my life. I didn't get fucking ripped off, but yet people would pay $40,000 fucking dollars a year to go to university, take liberal arts or some shit. What the fuck are you gonna do carrying that for? I was just trying to sell. It's a fucking waste of money. Like you're never gonna get that back. Like, bro, I was just trying to sell a house to a guy that was in anesthesiology. He told me, "Oh, you're a contractor? I should have been fucking doing that from the beginning, motherfucker." I'm like, "Why is that shit?" And he talks just like us. I'm like, "Why is that?" He goes, "You spent like 300, 400, $500,000 on your education. Yeah, you make good money being a fucking doctor, but you think you're ahead of the game year 1, year 2, year 3, paying that shit back, motherfucker." I got a kid in their 20s and I'm paying for their med school. I still haven't paid back these fucking student loans. The interest is killing me. If you fall behind, you fall short, you miss a payment on a doctor line of credit, they charge you a fucking penalty for it. It's like, hey man, like maybe what's all is pumped up to be in society by the masses ain't fucking what it's pumped up to be. It's shit, man. Like you want to be a millionaire, like jump on Titan with Phil Bohol. Like he's been there before. He's the Sherpa. You can fucking get you there. Like, oh, I didn't feel like I got my fucking like. I spent like 10K with you, CAD. I got my fucking money back. I knew like probably that fourth fucking call we did talking about sales and marketing that brought me more fucking sales in because you knew your fucking shit. And like I got more followers since, and I'm in the slower season right now, so we're kind of more or less doing the like not homework, but like we're gonna be ramping up for that in the new year. But yeah, bro.
Good, good. I appreciate it, man. Biggest thing for you, you're gonna take this, and it is true. You know, in personal development and mindset, you take it with you for life as long as you keep building upon it. You know what I mean? So the last question I have for you, man, is like, where can these guys find you as they listen to this, and what's next for you? Where are you gonna take yourself? What's the plan? That's basically it. You know, where are you gonna take this mindset? How are you gonna evolve it? What are you gonna do?
It's a great question, bro. Well, first off, my name is Richard McKay. Full name is Richard McKay Chambers. You can find me Richard M Chambers on Instagram, my personal page. Pro Touch Coatings is my contracting page. Yeah, you can look me up there. My new website just got built, protouchcoatings.ca. Yeah, you can find me on Google there. That's a great question, bro. And I know you know the answer to this. Like, where am I taking it? I know what I'm like. The well of personal development. We got into this. That well never depletes. That's the beauty part. You want to go learn about law, medical, learn about this, you fucking learn about that. That's a well that depletes and runs dry because there's not really much else to go with the science behind it. Business wise, I know you know this. I don't know right now. I'm going to try to navigate, not navigate, but like where that ship is like staying stagnant right now. We're just going to try to turn it towards a certain trajectory. Then we're just going to navigate there, hopefully not get the circuitous route, and then get the right coaching to be able to get there. Hopefully you can help me out with that in the future. But like, yeah, I got to figure that out, bro, because yeah, it's something I just got to be able to spend some time on for sure.
Yeah, and I was not looking for any specific answer, but I'm gonna ask this follow up question, because people don't have options in life, and you do. And sometimes the best next step is having the time to think about whatever it is that you want. A lot of people are still in survival mode out there. They haven't even created any breathing room to think about like, what do I want? What is the next step for me? They can't even do that, bro. You know, they're reacting so much to life. They have no command and control, not like you. And so to be able to have this space to think and to even consider and focus on your fucking vacation coming up, that's massive. So that's why I say like I want you to continue to celebrate your wins, bro, because right now the season that you're in is you don't let shit shake you. That would shake the average person. You're focused on what's important, taking a vacation with your wife, being there for the kids, you know, like all of those things. Massive. Having options of what's next for you and being able to take the time to even think about that. Fucking massive, bro. Massive wins. So the reason why I asked that question is because sometimes, and if you look back on 6 months ago, did you have options 6 months ago? Could you be like, I'm gonna go on vacation, I'm gonna go do this? Like, did you even think about that, or were you so stuck in the void that you couldn't even think in that direction?
No, not even. You could mention the word vacation would have just put me in anxiety because I was just so high, strung up in like reactive mode.
Yeah, bro.
So
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying, bro. So like you're winning. So keep winning. Share your wins with the brotherhood more. Okay? Richard, I appreciate your time, bro. I appreciate you sharing your story with everybody. And we can't wait to see what you do next, whatever that is. All right,
Hey,
man.
man, I
I'll see you in the
appreciate
next
that. I
one.
appreciate you having me today, Phil. Anytime, call day or night, brother. I'll get up for my kid. I'll get up for you. So no worries.
I appreciate the love, man. All right. Take care.
Take care, brother. Cheers.